encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. I think you'd have to say Nick Chubb, pound for pound, one of the most powerful runners in the NFL. He proved it there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Second and 5. They will run the draw with Jacobs. A nice little juke. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's not going to get the first down. He had to get to the 30, but he's a yard or two short. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a 1st down.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's NFC football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And yes, sir, that's going to be enough. The NFC tests their luck, and they get the conversion on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And touchdown! Tony Pollard, 41 yards. And the NFC able to cut into that lead. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year.
And they'll begin by running the option. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. They go play fake. Mahomes. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Now I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 74 yards rushing now for Chubb, and a first down as well.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And again, it's Chubb. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Jacobs. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Yeah, now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Second and goal from the 6 this time. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
And not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The numbers for the NFC on third down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the first down in the process. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Throwing is Hurts. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They're going on fourth down with Hurts. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he will be taken down, but not before he's got the NFC first down. So they take a chance on fourth. Why not in this game? And it's going to pay off with a new set of downs.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So the fourth down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Touchdown! George Kittle from 13 yards out. And the NFC able to draw a bit closer.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. A 10-play drive that time.
And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The AFC about ready to take over on offense. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at the earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Let's give him the credit he deserves because he can really do no wrong. It's got to be demoralizing for a defense to have someone who can cut up your secondary all game long with his arm and then rip off a huge gain like this with his legs. A championship effort from that man under center.
fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Now Chubb running right.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They run it again with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Handoff comes to Chubb. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
117 yards rushing for him now as he continues to lead the way for the AFC.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.